Hello and welcome to the Running Channel podcast with me, Rick Kelsey, her, Sarah Hartley, and him, Tom Dunn. Many of you will be wondering, well, Sarah was also wondering for a time, where's he gone? Where's he been all our lives? He's kind of disappeared off the face of Britain, Europe. He ended up somewhere in South America doing the world's highest marathon, and that is what we're talking about today.
We are. It was a bit of a pilgrimage, wasn't it? Well, it was. I'm telling you, it was a pilgrimage.
Didn't quite go to plan, which we're going to delve into, as well as going through what may have been happening in the world of elite sport and answering a question that I'm very excited to delve into. So should we get into it?
Let's do it. Mate, the facts here are just bewildering. It took you 2.5 weeks to get to the start.
Yep.
It's basically 7,000 meters, the highest volcano on Earth and the second highest peak in the Western Hemisphere. You chose to go to the border between Chile and Argentina to take on the world's highest marathon, where temperatures vary between plus 30 and minus 30 degrees Celsius.
Can I just jump in?
Yes.
So I'm buzzing to talk about this,
Yes.
obviously. Really excited.
Yeah.
Can we just do a little catch up between me and Rick first?
Yeah, I just thought I'd better give a bit of context.
Sorry, I thought I was like a special guest or something.
Yeah, I know, but like we'll get on
What have you
to
done,
that.
Parkrun?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've done a lot, actually.
Oh, have you? Go
Yeah,
on.
me and
How-
Rick.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've
how
been-
are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Not good.
We've spent a lot of time together. If
We have.
in
In the rain.
other
In the rain.
situations,
Yeah.
people would worry.
But we absolutely despise each other,
Yeah,
so
so it's fine.
Yeah, I've been good. I'm training for Rotterdam Marathon still,
Yeah, which is when
which is on the 12th of April. So really not that far to
2
go
weeks
now.
before the London Marathon.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but I feel like with the spring marathon, this happens to me every single time. I start in January, everywhere's a bit dead. No one's really going out that much. Everyone's like, oh, Christmas is over. I'm just going to ease myself into the year. Running wise, that means your training is like kind of effortless. You're building up the distances. You've got so much time to go out and do stuff. Now I've hit 6 weeks in to my 14-week training block. Maybe this is week 7. Unsure.
This we're on the same 14-week block.
14-week training block, yeah.
So
And
this is week 5.
oh, this is week 5.
Yeah.
Fine. No, it must be week 7 for me because mine's 2 weeks before you.
Wow.
Oh,
This is
correct.
hard.
This is working well.
This is
Yes.
hard.
Sorry.
Yes,
But
you're week 7.
basically, I've hit week 7. I feel like it's all been going really good so far. I had a niggle a couple of weeks ago, which I just stopped everything, really focused on the fact that I was scared that my Achilles was going to let me down. But I've got on top of that. Now I'm into going on holiday. Tom went to
back.
South America for 2 weeks, so I had to look after the dog all by myself.
Was
and do
it easier?
everything.
Was it easier to train while I was away? And am I more of a burden on your life now I'm back?
I have realised that I'm really tidy and you're not.
Right.
So that was easier.
Oh, that's nice.
But now, like, we're going skiing in a few weeks, which I'm so excited for. But
That's gonna
how do you
screw your
marathon train around that?
You don't.
You
Ski
can't.
tour.
Ski
don't.
tour. Yeah, I'm just going to have to like pause. So, and I'm also really excitedly going out to Font-Romeu in a few weeks
Oh, really?
to
Work?
see how the elites train. Yeah,
At altitude?
up at altitude.
Yeah, so you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
Fun times.
I'm not going
Do you know how
quite
high
as
that
high.
is?
I want to say it's like 2,000, so it's not quite as high.
Not
But Rick,
6,893
but Rick,
meters.
how's your training going?
Well, I feel like I'm building up slowly.
Yeah, longest run so far.
It's 14K this week. Yeah. I don't understand how your training plan is, even though you're only 2 weeks ahead, your mileage is just wild.
I'm running 5 times a week though,
And
Right.
going for a faster time.
and
I
I'm going
believe.
for a faster
What time are you going for?
Well, if you were to ask my plan, which has a lovely little, this is the time we're aiming for at the top, it would say 3:23
Wow.
to 3:31. Now, my PB is 3:44, so I would be happy with anything that does
3:30?
yeah, rather than 3:00.
Okay.
3:00 would be, I've nailed it.
So would you be
3:30,
happy with
fine.
3:30, I like that.
9?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3:39, 3:39.59.
So you don't want to kiss the PB, you want to, wipe it out.
I want to break into a new
what is your
category.
current PB?
Exactly,
What is your
yeah.
current marathon PB?
3:44.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking for 5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Tom, did you know that, or were you asking that
For the
for
viewers
sake
at
of
home.
the
For
show?
the viewers at home, I had no idea.
You know, right? I was just wondering.
Tom
Just
literally
wondering if
keeps
you-
nothing in his head. Like I went
Did
out.
you ever talk about this type of stuff together at home?
Oh, how running goes is, how's your run? Yeah, it's a bit hard. Nice.
Okay.
Do you want some dinner?
Yeah, whereas I have to be like, how was it?
Oh,
You
well,
okay?
K1 was so good. Do you want to
Yeah.
see my splits?
Yeah. Slightly one-sided.
I would say I'm now going into the part of training where you've got to take stuff out with you, carry stuff.
Oh, no.
you got to carry
Stuff. And like,
What do you have to carry?
well, I've always
a
only
gel.
taken gels, but now I'm taking these bars as well.
Are
They're a bit
you?
dry though. But
A bar on a run.
I've got these lovely gels. The gels I'm taking out are they don't have a flavour. They're just what they call
neutral.
Neutral. They're
System
fantastic.
Yeah,
gels.
10 out of 10.
I absolutely love them. But the bars, I do find bars can be a bit dry.
I personally prefer a bar before a run. So like if there's a big gap. So this week, me, Jess and Mark went out and did a challenge, which is stop when you think you run a half marathon.
Yeah.
Every time these challenges are so much harder than
weirdly,
you
they
first
never asked me to do these ones.
I know. All of us were like, oh,
They being Sarah.
we should do this stop when you think you've run an ultra marathon soon, but I'm just not sure when. But I had a bar.
Oh, you did stop when
Half
You've done,
marathon.
you've done a marathon as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
We got nowhere near.
Absolutely horrific. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I had a bar just before the half marathon
Did
one.
you?
But that I feel like
Well,
and you need water.
I'm
can't-
probably going to take between 6 and 8 bars and gels with me, based on the amount of calories and carbohydrates I'm going to have to take on with me.
Are you finding it all right though to like fuel and then run?
Yeah, pretty much fine. It's more at the moment. It's just not nice. Now we have pretty temperate weather in the UK, but it's just wet and
Yeah.
miserable.
What was the stat you gave me when you walked in today about the rain?
Oh, it's basically rained every day in London, apart from 3 days in the past 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is so actually unlike
But
London, because
all
London's
next week's
rainfall is
gonna rain as
actually
well, yeah.
weirdly quite low
Yeah.
internationally. But yeah, it's been bleak. But one thing I found really useful, and the science does actually back this up, is the fact that I'm doing one of the runs inside on a treadmill where I'm running in 20 degrees.
Oh,
So
nice. You're just
I'm
doing a bit of passive heat
passive
training.
hit, yeah, just to, what happened last year in London? It was 21 degrees at the end of April. It's the same time last weekend of April.
We are
You know-
actually going to be making a video on this,
Are we?
which I think I might have just roped
Yeah.
Tom into doing, because I think if there's one thing that you can predict, not with certainty, but with relative certainty, if you are training for a spring marathon, it is pretty much guaranteed to be hotter on race day than probably 90% of the
your
conditions
training.
that you've been training in. So right now, your heat training's probably not going to be doing that much. I think the
It's something.
sweet spot is...
It's 5K.
I think it's like 5 or 6, no, maybe like 4 weeks out.
Oh, right, okay.
But if you keep doing it, then by the time you get to race day,
I'm
you'll
just
be
doing one, and it doesn't
conditioned.
half feel tougher to do 5K indoors in 20
really?
degrees
Yeah, well, it's
than it
just
is
different.
outdoor in 3 or 4.
I bet it's nice to be in shorts and a t-shirt though, and not cut all the
I
layers.
probably run pretty similar anyway.
Oh really? I went
Yeah.
out at the weekend for a long run, and everywhere round me was flooded. Like it was sleet.
Really?
It was. I have never run in wetter conditions. Like I was wearing leggings, and I honestly looked like a seal because they were so wet.
So wet,
and
right,
all
yeah.
the roads were just flooded, so we were just running upstream.
I suppose that's it with spring marathons. You can't.
I was just listening.
Well, you can't actually train in the conditions, can you? Really?
No.
Until you get there.
No. Do you know what I would love you to do, Tom?
Sorry, still here.
No, look, right.
Mate, this is all about you.
Sorry,
This is
back
going to
to
be
you.
all about you
Do you
shortly.
know what you should do? Not that you'd have an activity to show for this, but so for this week's club episode, we let AI roast our Stravas.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And
I like that.
I reckon you should do it for yours.
Well,
'Cause
mine are just, how do you roast morning run, evening run, lunch run?
honestly, it finds a way, and
Okay,
it's
let's do it.
really
You know what?
aggressive.
I'm into it.
It would do a brilliant job of roasting my Strava this week, because I went for a run on Tuesday. We're recording this on Thursday. And I managed to go for a run where I ran for 30 minutes, but did no distance.
No.
Zero distance.
And you weren't on the treadmill?
No, I was just outside and I went for a 30-minute with no distance. And I still have no
Stunning.
idea how I did it. I've not turned off any GPS location. I have no idea how I did it.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway,
Training's going well.
Training's
right.
going-
So
Tom.
how are you?
I'm quite tired. I'm gonna be honest. I've listened to you two talk.
So rude.
No, but yeah, I'm shattered.
So you're kind of 4 days back
Yeah.
from the trip.
Yeah.
Can you describe to people who may have been living under a rock and don't know what you were going to take on, what is the challenge that you went and attempted?
So I went to attempt to run the world's highest marathon. And what that means is it is, well, the highest marathon in the world.
You'd hope so.
Altitude-wise. Yeah, you'd hope so. So that was at 6,893 meters. There's lots of stats we could talk about, like it's, the highest volcano in the world. It's in the Atacama Desert, which is the second driest place on the world. There's lots of things there, but
Where is the driest place in the world?
Antarctica, which is weird.
Oh, yeah, because isn't that technically a desert as well?
Yeah, it's just a snowy one.
A snowy desert.
Snowed once 400 years ago or whatever, and it's just in desert. Anyway, but to actually achieve it, the way, because it's a Guinness World Record attempt as well, and to achieve it, you have to summit the mountain, and the start line is on the summit of the mountain.
Oh,
And then it
wow.
runs from the start of the marathon all the way down to the highest lake in the world, which is at 4,300 meters. So some key facts there. The summit temperature is around -30 with 50, 60 mile an hour gusts of wind. The finish line is +30, so there's a 60-degree temperature change.
Whoa.
You have 40% less oxygen at the summit than you would do normally at sea level.
Yeah.
It's incredibly dry. Like I said, it's the second driest place in the world. So you're overhydrating the entire time. You're drinking about 12 to 15 litres of water a day just sitting.
one of the biggest moments where I realized, wow, this guy's taking on a huge challenge is when I saw you prepping your kit after you flew from the UK to Chile.
Yeah.
And you lined it all up around your bed, and it looked like about 4 bags, like backpacks, large backpacks worth.
Yeah.
Can you take us through what was in that kit and how you physically got that to the start?
So, the run was essentially broken into 3 checkpoints, so like 3 stages, right? You've got your summit attempt, which is going up and coming halfway down. And the gear we're using for that, because of how cold it is like similar gear to what you'd use to climb Everest. So summit mountaineering boots with crampons, big down jackets, gloves, mitts that make your hands look like, the Michelin Man.
But it's not part of the race.
That's not part of the race. And that's just to get you to the start line. And that also then, from the start line, you have to wear that to go down the first 3 kilometers of the race to the first checkpoint area. From then on, you're still at 5,900 meters. So it's still quite cold. So then you would strip down into more hiking, like fast packing hiking gear. So still jackets. Some people opted to put trail shoes on there, or you could wear like faster hiking boots. So there's another layer of full gear. And then that's another about 15 to 20K of running. And that's through a desert. So it's lots of sand, lots of large rocks and stuff like that. Very barren. And then you get to a road section, which is the last 19K down to the lake. And that's when everyone stripped off and went into more traditional running clothes.
Where's all your kit?
Don't know. They lost my bag on the way home.
No.
Iberia
Who
Airlines,
did?
if you're listening. Iberia Airlines, if you're listening, please can I have my bag back, because it's got a lot of expensive kit in it. My journey, everything about this trip, including my journey home, Rick, has been a mission. It took 3 extra flights and 2 extra countries to get home. And in that process, my check-in bag was lost. So
Oh,
I still
no.
haven't got that.
And talk us through it wasn't just fly in,
No.
up you go. So what was the process of trying to get to the
Well,
start
yeah.
line?
So Rick said earlier, 2.5 weeks to get to the start line. And sure, you could fly in and go to the start line in one day. But no one would recommend it, right? So you have to acclimatise to the altitude, especially for us people in the UK that our highest altitude you can possibly really live at is probably about 600 meters or below. So you start off at 400 meters, then you'll move up a bit to 2,000 meters, and then you'll stay there for a couple of days, and you go up to 3,000 meters, 4,000 meters. When we got above 2,000 meters, for me, I actually got physically sick and had a whole 2 days in bed. Couldn't.
You
eat
looked in a bad
anything.
way.
Yeah, and got proper altitude sickness. Got over that, and then we moved up to our final kind of base camp area, which was 4,300 meters, and we stayed there for a week and a half. And really, you're sitting around. You're in it. So you're
in a tent.
You each get a tent to live in, which was nice. But it's 30 degrees from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. and it goes down to about -5, -10 at night. So it's a bit shift there. But the tent is obviously incredibly hot in the day. You can't go in there. So there's a mess tent as well, and with some plastic chairs, like your village hall vibes.
Yeah.
And you basically sit there around with all your team and just talk about stuff.
But why are you there for so long?
Just have a little chat.
Because you have to the only way you can acclimatize your body to the lack of oxygen is time. So you just have to spend time at that altitude, and your body relearns how to process oxygen through your and into your blood cells to aid all your body.
Did you find that bit boring?
Yeah,
did it feel
quite boring. We had Starlink, so we had internet, which is quite nice. But yeah, it is essentially.
What were you looking at?
I was making reels for the running channel, actually.
Yeah, we were working him up that mountain.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
He's just sitting around all day.
yeah,
making
you
a bit of
are.
content.
that is a tight knit team right there.
if anyone has gone to altitude, and you'll probably feel this when you go out to Font Romeu as well. Your body basically has to relearn how to function. So how to be efficient, how to do mundane stuff like putting.
It's like
your
that in
shoes
North
on.
London. I get that every morning.
The gruesome hills, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's loads of things. So you are kind of just in survival mode the entire time, because like I say, your body's relearning. You're incredibly dehydrated. It's really hot. It's really cold. You're in the sand. I didn't have a shower for 2 weeks. Baby wipes only.
Did you smell?
Don't know. Everyone smells.
Everyone smelled.
May have done. Can we just quickly, because I know Rick loves this bit, how did you go to the toilet?
It was actually on my mind.
Right.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
we're getting through to him.
There was
Oh, no,
a
please.
it's coming through.
OSB box up a hill in the full sun that had a bucket and a little tiny bottle for number ones that you had to sit down and insert.
Oh.
That was, and then
Why don't you just go?
for a number
Why
two?
don't you're in the wild.
Yeah, but you're in a desert, so nothing decomposes. So
Oh, I see.
everything has to be taken off the mountain.
Okay.
And then you basically pooed in a bucket for 2.5 weeks on top of other people's poo. It smelled bad. It was rough.
Oh. On a scale of on a scale of Portaloo pre-marathon
Yeah,
to healthy and solid,
yeah.
could you describe kind of
Oh no, actually, so I lost an entire stone of weight on this trip, right? So
But you've been losing weight gradually over the past 6 months.
yeah, but if you want to lose weight, go to the desert and eat quinoa. And
Nah, you're right.
soup
You're
for 2
right.
weeks. So
think
like
they're-
we had
they're more
there's a whole
comfortable.
team around you, right? There's medics, there's guides, there's fixers, there's a catering team to help you prepare for this. It's incredibly well run by the team that organised it. But the food, as you can imagine, is fuel, and it tastes great.
And you lost what? What did you lose
A whole
weight?
stone.
That's 6 kg.
Yeah.
And would you say that's just because like on the face of it, you're sitting around for kind of a huge
You're not
portion
actually
of the day,
exercising it.
but then
too
it's
much.
so hot. So
So
your body's probably having to work so much harder just to exist.
Yeah, but also like the diet is so clean. It's just like and to answer your Portaloo versus thing, because your diet is so clean, your poo, your number two, is so minimal because there's no waste.
You just burning it off.
Your body's like, oh, I need all of that. Just thank you very much. So as in, back home you have a curry, 90% of that comes back out again, doesn't it? But don't do that when you're eating clean.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, this is the thing. I didn't succeed. I got to 6,000 for people that don't know. I got to 6,200 meters. And also just to make things harder on summit day is that we set off. It's a 2-hour drive across the desert in the middle of the night. We left at 11 p.m. and we set off at 1 a.m. to do the summit. It's a 15-hour walk to the start line at altitude in the middle of the night. That's just how long it takes.
Is it marked, the start line?
Yeah, so we took banners and stuff like that. Obviously, I never saw that. But I got to around 6,200 meters and I was walking. And as I was walking, I'd do about 3 steps and start passing out. And then I'd walk 3 steps, pass out. And that's like there's a mixture of it. It could be the start of hypoxia and it could be extreme sleep deprivation or a mixture. But essentially, I couldn't stay awake. I was losing consciousness, so I had to come back down. And 5 people out of the 9 that attempted it summited, and they successfully did it.
There were loads of people who were trying to get to the summit.
Yeah, so there was 9 runners trying to do it, but I think there's around 14 people in total, but only 5 people did it. So the success rate was quite good, or I don't know, depends how you look at it.
I think it just shows how hard a challenge that is. And actually the running part of it was going to be the easiest, but just having to deal with that amount of altitude, sleep deprivation, the conditions, it was really windy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think how I've been trying to figure out how to put it into a comparable feeling or a comparable measure. I think the only way I can think about it is try walking up some steps for a minute while holding your breath. And then feel how that feels. You're almost on death's door. And then breathe in once and do it again. And try and do that for half an hour. That's how it is just walking at that altitude.
So at the point where you had to kind of stop and go back down, at what point did it start to sink in that it was a DNF?
Well, instantly, right? It was well, I haven't been able, if I don't get to the top, I can't finish. And that was really tough. There's lots of crying on the mountain, lots of hugging.
Was it hard to actually just turn around and go back down?
And I probably pushed myself further than I should have done on the mountain as well, because ultimately you have to be able to call it yourself for the safety of others as well. Because if you put yourself in danger on a mountain, you're putting other people at risk as well.
That moment is actually a really difficult moment, isn't it? When you've got to call it for your own health. Yeah. Because you're actually thinking, well, actually, this is going to be problematic if you go on.
Yeah. And it was a very hard decision. And I remember it quite vividly, actually, I'm in and out. Gav, who's our leader, safety expedition leader on it, he was behind me and I could feel him holding the back of my scruff of my neck so I didn't fall over.
Really?
And I was walking up and I was passing out and he's kept doing that. And then I just sat there, I was leaning on my poles, struggling to stay awake. And he just looked at me, he was put an arm around me. He was like, Tom, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he fully embraced me, gave me a big hug. And then,
well, your mind wants to carry it on, but the physicality of it, your body can't do it.
Obviously, that's such an extreme as well. But I think we've all had that, with runs where, maybe you feel a niggle or it's such a hard decision to make when the obvious decision is staring you in the face, but there's still that glimmer of hope.
Because you want to go on. Yeah.
And
it's always your mind saying go on.
It was the first time ever in running or really in my life where I wasn't upset that I didn't finish something.
You weren't upset?
No, because I learnt so much about myself, and going on this trip as well. We're making a video about it, so stay tuned. But going on this trip was about saying yes to things that seemingly I think is impossible that I should be doing and I don't deserve to do it. It's just scary to do it. And I said yes, and that was going on the trip, arriving, being in a place, traveling to the Southern Hemisphere on my own, all of this stuff, spending time with 20 people for 2.5 weeks I've never met and becoming, lifelong friends with some of these people. all of that stuff is massive character building and changed my life for the better. And that is something that I take away from this experience and be like, well, yeah, I didn't go out to do the A goal, but I smashed the B, C, D, E, F goals I had that were running related or just, like general life related. And yeah, I've definitely like the whole growth mindset thing is there, and it's, the takeaways are, for me, are massive.
But do you think you want to do more of these challenges now?
Yeah. Sign me up.
Really?
Yeah, shove me in the deep end.
I think what's really cool is like before the trip, you were saying, like with the ultra that you did in December as well, you're saying like you're finally at the stage where you're able to do the challenges that excite you.
Yeah.
And there's obviously like the challenges that you want to do, it's like much bigger swings. So like if it pays off, phenomenal. If it doesn't pay off, then does it feel like a bigger loss, I guess, compared to if you like set out for a 5K PB?
This challenge specifically is a bit hard because it was quite last minute, and like although I had the ultra fitness, the altitude and all that was a bit unknown, but like we gave it a go and didn't pay off. But but like I think the fact that how many people can say, well, I spent 2 weeks living in the second driest place on earth in a desert, and then got to 6,100 meters. Oh, and by the way, I went off-roading in some really cool Ford Raptors for 2 weeks. And, like that experience alone, for me is like, oh, sick, yeah. I didn't do the running stuff, but like...
Not to be controversial, I think I'd prefer a spa.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like that's what I want to process. And to answer your question of are the swings or the disappointments bigger? Yes, but also the challenge, the progression you go on to get to the point of even getting on the start line are bigger. So you have to learn so much more. So like, say my goals in life might take 2 years building up to one race, but all the things I've done in those 2 years to get to that race are massive wins as well.
Do you know what it reminds me of? We always talk about how like there are two types of people, really. Within running, you're either
there are three. There are the people who come to your house, take their shoes off without asking. There are the people who get to your house, ask if you should take your shoes off to come into your house. Or there are people who just walk into your house and don't take their shoes. Right. There are three types of people.
Okay, but amongst them, I feel like they're in two categories. Either you're a completer or you're a completer, and I feel like. I don't know which camp, Rick, you'd say you're in. I feel like I'm a completer. Like the thing that motivates me in running is to go out, be competitive with myself and see like how fast I can go. That's what makes me really excited. I feel like you're a completer. You want to go to these like situations where like no one, I think if you said like, oh, I just completed the world's highest marathon, would go like, great. What time did you do that in? I think it's that like, oh my God.
I don't think it's a time question, that one. I don't think it's a time question.
I think if you did it in 2 years, they'd be like, fair play.
Yeah.
But like, well, to confirm, it took in total from the start line to the finish, it took about 17 hours. But like in total from when we started walking or when the 5 people that did it, it was around 27 hours in total to... Wow. On the feet. So it was a long time. But I think the completing, that is 100% me. But I also think it's the exploration as well. And it's not just the exploration of the unknown or doing these crazy things. It's the exploration into myself as well and know what I can do.
And that's all very nice. But
me and Rick are literally just like, don't want to poo in a bucket.
You've got to be in the right stage of life to be able to do that.
I don't think you'll ever hit that stage.
No, exactly. But you've got to have. So you've basically got to not have kids who need you for 3 weeks.
Don't use your kids as an excuse.
No,
you went to Tokyo for the exact same amount of time. You just had a hotel bed. No, you didn't. He went for 2 and a bit. You went to Tokyo for the exact same amount of time, and you flew away without your little
I flew my mother-in-law over from New Brunswick.
Yeah, but no one else would do that.
I didn't want to leave my wife alone with two tiny children.
I was the only one on the trip that didn't have
Because
kids.
you couldn't imagine anything
And
worse
I would've brought-
being left alone with your 2 kids.
And I would have brought Carol Kelsey down, but she was already somewhere else anyway.
Oh,
so
isn't that so annoying when your parents have a life?
I fixed the situation.
Right.
I fixed the situation. I'm just saying you've got to be at a certain stage in life to have the ability to dart off, train, and do that for 3 weeks. I mean, look at poor Sarah. She kept on calling me, telling me how bored she was.
I'm not going to lie,
So-
the countryside
So yeah,
was dull.
I'm
without you.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that
Okay,
statement.
fine.
I was the only person on the trip that didn't have children. But
Hey, don't go getting any ideas. When we have kids, you're not flitting off to the mountains for 3 weeks.
there you go,
can't
point
do-
proven.
Then you can't go and do a marathon then.
I can bash
Nope,
that out in a
absolutely
weekend.
not.
You
But like, no, I
you can
completely-
do
run.
you can
I
do
could
all
have
this
done
stuff, but you
4
have to
marathons
put
at the
stuff
same
in
time.
place, which makes it more difficult. I'm
Yeah,
sure those people
100%.
who were on the trip,
100%.
they probably haven't got a couple of newborns, you know,
No, they're all
or
like
toddlers
over
or whatever,
Rick,
or toddlers
are you
or
kidding
whatever.
me? A couple of newborns. How old is your youngest newborn?
Well,
2.
yeah. a toddler, it doesn't matter.
Right.
My 24-month-old newborn.
Very small babies or small
Very
children. Small
A
children.
758-day child.
Okay.
I get what
You
you're
know
saying.
the point
I
here.
get what you're saying, and I think it's a bit deeper than that.
I thought
where
Sarah would actually back me
That's
up.
what your mum says about you. She doesn't go away because she's scared about leaving her.
45,000th day
Yeah,
old.
So to sum it up,
Yes.
if anyone is intrigued, is maybe thinking, I'm a bit bored of the old road marathon, I fancy myself a little adventure, what would your advice be?
I think everyone. I truly believe that every year, you need to truly test yourself physically and mentally.
Oh, come on.
No, I think it does.
I don't think
What
Rick's
a
ever.
pile of balls.
it resets.
Absolute pile of
It
nonsense.
resets your values.
Every year you need to test
I
yourself.
do think you need to reset your values.
It resets your values.
Push
It re-
yourself,
it re-
not test yourself to the
reassesses
levels
your-
that you've just done.
It reassesses what is comfortable in life and what are necessities. And it really makes you have a different outlook on every aspect of
yeah,
life.
but you don't need to go.
You might realise that you don't
go
need a
up
hot
the
tub in your
highest
back garden, and
volcano.
you definitely don't need a little ice roller in your fridge.
You do. I think you do. But
I'm not saying you have to go and try and do a world record every year, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that
Do something that scares you.
do something that genuinely scares you and something
I
that
believe
like,
in that, in doing that,
Yeah.
something that pushes you. I believe in
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that almost every day if you can. Absolutely. But to the level of extreme
Oh,
of this.
No, you don't have to
you
do
don't
it,
have
Tom.
to do that. No, but like to some degree of like uncertainty going into it, I think is really important because you redefine yourself in those situations, and it's really
And he's come back a new man, hasn't he?
Maybe
really is
if
cool.
you listening to this are a competitor, you feel like all you're doing is kind of testing yourself across times or distances, maybe have a little look. Is there a challenge near you where the fear of completion is the goal in itself? Because it might teach you something in your running. I definitely feel like the ultra marathons that I've done, where I've genuinely been scared of whether I can get through it, gave me something different when I then came back into a half marathon, 10K block, even 5K block. I think it's so polar opposite.
and also running for me is it's not just a hobby that I go for a run and then forget about running. It is I do it to try and improve all of my life aspect, and going on something like this is like, well, you know, I shat in a bucket for 2 weeks, so can't be that bad, can it?
Stunning. Do you know what I've signed Tom up to
Probably
this
got beat that,
weekend?
haven't you?
If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, this race is tomorrow. I've signed him up to the Bulldog Beast.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't
It's
think
a
that's gonna
really
test me
hilly,
as much,
hard
is it?
half marathon that happens in February every year near where we live. And apparently the conditions are horrific.
In Feb.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
I think rain, wind, snow, sleet,
And
cold, hills.
You can't walk it.
Wind.
Half. You can't walk. You got to run the whole thing.
No, you can walk it.
Oh, you can?
I don't
Alright,
think
fine.
I'll be running
All
up
right.
these hills.
Oh, really? Okay, fine.
I'll
Well,
report back next week.
I mean, I've got to admit, that was mad.
What's
That was
mad?
probably one of the maddest things I think we've ever talked about.
I know. And just, you know, between us, little podcast family, if you're interested in these crazy explorations. There might be some more coming,
Is that?
Really?
potentially. I can't say more than that, but there might be more
No,
coming.
what is this?
Watch
is
this space.
Well,
Maybe-
someone in
maybe
this,
next year,
someone in this
or-
room.
Maybe two of us in this room. That's what I've heard.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
Just think.
husband and wife by that point.
I'll just.
Oh,
Little
good. I was just like,
expedition.
God, it's not me.
I'll put it out there.
Ray's like,
Right.
God, what am I doing?
Yeah,
Don't sign
yeah.
me up to anything. I quit. I'm moving to the
quit.
Wirral. That's the last you'll ever see of me.
Just to finish on that.
My insurance won't cover it. This face is worth too much. Sorry, what are you going to
No,
say?
it really doesn't matter, does it? You can really tell. Just anyone that ever wants to come on this
Mate, one's
podcast.
got tongue insurance.
Just for anyone listeners at home, if you ever feel like, God, I'd love to go on the podcast, it's horrible.
Oh, God.
You're just sat there like a store
Right. Okay, news time. Right, let's talk about Keely Hodgkinson because she broke the British record in the 800 metres. But before we talk a little bit about that, indoor 800 metres, how much do we all remember what Andy tells us? So
Nothing.
how many...
I've prided
an
myself.
indoor track,
no.
an indoor track is how many metres long?
Well, if it's an 800 meter race, wouldn't it be? No, that doesn't work.
Were you going to say 800 meters?
Come on. How much?
300. Is
Tom?
that right?
360.
It's 200 metres.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Why
that.
don't
I
they just
thought it was
build a
300.
bigger indoor area?
Yeah, so she's got to loop the track four
Why,
times.
why do they do that?
So she says she's now aiming for a new world record after she broke the British 800 metre mark in Birmingham. But I'd like to get your two take on this. So she did this in the heats in the indoors in Birmingham. But she, after breaking the British record, then decided not to run the final. Fair or not?
Well, she's gearing up for another race, which I feel like maybe there must be other races which are more prestigious. And it's like early in the season. People are coming in, racing hard. We've seen Femke Bol come to the 800, but then I think she's picked up a little bit of an injury. She ran pretty strong. I feel like there must be, in the track scene, you're chasing prestige, you're chasing money, and you're chasing records.
Do you think that's fair that she can just turn up and run in the heats and not compete in the final?
Great if you're a
Well,
finalist.
the only
Yeah,
no, but
great.
it is great, but it's also not because it's not a true win, is it?
Well, this is my problem with athletics in general. I don't think you could ever have a situation where there isn't one person like injured who has a bad day or like, do you know what I mean? There's
but
no
that's
pure.
That's completely fair though. If Keely Hodgson run 800 meters and then DNF'd for the final because she had a hamstring injury, then that's luck of the draw. That's how it is. But like if it was the FA Cup final, no, let's say it's the World Cup final.
Right.
And it was England v Germany.
Can't believe we're talking about football on this
No,
podcast.
but then Germany just don't turn up.
Right.
So then by default, England win the medal. History would be like, well, you didn't really win.
I'm with you.
I reckon English people would be pretty buzzing about it.
Yeah, but like it wouldn't be a true win.
Coming
It wouldn't be a true.
No.
So she announced beforehand that she wouldn't compete in the final because she was due to race in France on the Thursday. But she described the run as a personal challenge. Now,
Do you know what's interesting though? Are you even allowed to do that?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily fair to the
No.
people who are going there when it's not their personal challenge. They're there to compete, to win, to
Yeah.
win a medal,
Yeah.
to compete in the final. Now, if you've got there and she's just ran, you go, all right, okay. Whoever is in that final, like Tom
Yeah.
says with the England versus Germany example, you don't feel like you've completely won it when someone in the heat, was faster than you.
It also must feel a bit
It sits a bit uncomfortably with me.
Yeah, but then
agree.
is there a wider issue of like if the reason is because there's another race where you couldn't be fresh enough if you'd done the final as well? Is there a problem in the track racing scene? Like, are there too many track races? Does it need to be more streamlined so that we're seeing the best athletes all in one place competing against each other?
But she
Yeah.
didn't have to do the heat, though, did she?
No.
could-
No,
she
it
could-
might have been better to just
you could
not
have
turn up
opted
at
out.
all.
Just don't do
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hello, Rick here, just editing the podcast. Now, at the time of recording, Keely's race in France hadn't taken place, and she went on to beat the world record at the indoor 800 metres. So it turns out those heats were pretty much the perfect warm-up. Maybe she does know what she's doing. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Well, we can have another one of those next week. Questions.
We love Keely though.
We do love Keely. Jake from Bristol. I've got a question on running etiquette, which I'm hoping you can clear up for me. Is there an official side to the pavement? If you're listening in, where should we say this week? Oahu, Hawaii.
What side of the road does they
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
Is there a specific side of the pavement runners should stick to? And a preferred side for people to pass on? I feel like everyone does something different and it can get a bit awkward on busy paths. I've always thought as runners in the UK, we should probably stick to the left like driving, but it doesn't always seem to work like that in practice. I sometimes feel I'm doing a slalom on my runs. Thoughts?
That is tricky. So, do you know the thing that irks me more than anything else in this world? Groups of people taking up the whole pavement. If you're a family of 4, like you, for example, you should never expect to walk in a line.
No, you should expect to walk in a line. You should never.
You've had 2 kids.
Horizontal
You have
line.
to walk 2 by 2, like the giraffes did onto Noah's Ark.
I see what you mean. So you should always leave passing space.
I think as a group you should, or as a group in general, you should never take up a whole path. That's just bad etiquette.
4
No, I
across,
agree.
4 abreast.
Doesn't
I
matter.
agree.
who you
5
are.
abreast I've seen sometimes.
But like on my view on that is I'm a runner on a path and I always, in my head, it's like same as a cyclist on a path. I yield to a pedestrian. So
I love the word yield.
It is good.
So like a walker always has right of way in my opinion.
Right.
So
Yeah.
then I would make it my case to move around.
I think
there.
Do you know,
Bristol-
I agree
Bristol's
with
got a
that
point here, though.
until I'm doing an interval session, and then sometimes I just feel like
Yeah, but then that's your
I am
fault
the
for doing
priority.
that's your fault for doing an interval session on a busy path.
I know, but I'm
Go somewhere
working
else.
really hard, and I just
Yeah,
feel
but-
like people should yield to that.
That's
I
a
saw-
level of enticement you need to learn.
Enticement. You need
There will
to
be
learn.
someone listening to this who knows what I mean. If I'm on an easy run, I'll wait.
Oh,
I'll move
100%.
to the side.
But-
if I'm mid-rep,
Yeah.
No. You're angry.
I
You're
will,
angry.
I will run through anything.
I was on a pavement on a road running down to the beach in the Wirral, and
Too much context.
there was a mum with 3 children. Each child had a sausage dog.
Were they walking?
Each child had a
See,
sausage
that
dog.
then means
and the child, it was a tiny sausage dog for the smallest child who was about 4. Then
Right.
there was a 6-year-old with a slightly bigger sausage dog, and then there was a 10-year-old with a quite large sausage dog.
it's like a scene from Goldilocks and the Three
And
Bears.
they were quite long leads, but the mum had a separate dog. So it was like
Sausage?
doing a sausage. My mum just had a sausage. And they were all over the pavement.
Right.
And it was cars lined up, so I couldn't cross.
Right.
So I was jumping over leads and the dogs were yapping, and the mum just gave me the worst evils.
Really? Were you on an
She-
easy run or an interval session?
I was
that will
on
determine how I feel about
I was
this.
on an easy run.
Should have stopped.
Should I have stopped?
You could have ducked out between the cars in that
Yeah,
situation.
but if there's 4 sausage dogs.
If you're on an interval session, however,
Sorry, yeah, but-
kick the dogs. No, I'm joking. Please don't
Yeah, no,
kick
we
any
love dogs.
We love dogs. I own a dog.
Never diss a dog.
Don't.
No. Never walk into a room in Britain and say you hate dogs. Literally, it's worse than saying you killed someone.
It actually is.
Yeah,
You once
yeah.
did that, and I was like, oh, you take that back.
No. What I said was not even that far. I said I have no opinion on dogs. I don't dislike.
Which is
I don't
worse. You should love dogs.
I don't.
What's
I don't
a dog
have anything.
ever done
I'm just.
to you?
No, I'm just
A dog
fine with them.
is man's
I
best
don't,
friend.
I don't want the hound
Person's
to
best
come
friend.
and jump up on me. And
We
sniff
don't
me.
deserve dogs.
Yes.
They don't deserve
Have we?
you.
Jake from Bristol. Have we helped you?
But what I would say is, I feel like, unfortunately, the thing that you have to try and avoid is the dance where you like both go. So my advice would be, sometimes it's going to be on the left, sometimes it's going to be on the right, but whatever your first instinct is, commit and then let the other person faff about. But overtake
Unless
on the
they're
right.
blind, then you need to figure that out yourself.
That's a good point. That is a
Correct.
genuinely good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people do try and stick to the left
Yeah.
Or the right
Stick to
if
the
you're
left.
or
in.
the right if you're
But then,
in
you know,
France.
you're
Yeah.
going to come across tourists who might go to the
I
other
have
side.
no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They're just bimbling around like, oh, look.
It's a two-way
Geese,
conversation,
isn't it?
though, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
the people with the sausage dogs and it's you.
You can do. I quite like a little hand signal. So if I'm running along, I'll point to where I'm going to go to.
Oh gosh, yes, that's brilliant, Sarah. I've started doing hand signals to cross at zebra crossings.
This
you know when I'm
vehicle is turning
when I'm
left.
approaching a zebra crossing, I hand signal so the
Yeah,
cars
know that
behind
you're
me
gonna
know
do.
that I'm about to. Obviously, I'm going to stop, but then often 50% of the time in North London,
Yeah.
they will stop.
Do you know, that is the one thing that I've noticed between London and the countryside where London's better, because the traffic in London is moving so slowly.
They do
You
stop.
can guarantee that someone will stop at a zebra crossing. So people kind of just
Not
fling
even at a zebra
themselves
crossing,
over.
just anywhere really.
In the countryside, you would get killed. Like no one is stopping at a zebra
You're not
crossing.
selling it. Okay, all right. That's great. Well, I think we did answer something there.
Okay, great.
All right. We'll
Thanks,
be
Tom.
back.
Well done.
Do you have a favour to ask before we go?
I do have a favour.
Ah.
Firstly, questions. Remember, you can send in a voice note. Just remember, keep it tight. With no waffling, less than 30 seconds. Also, we've got lots of exciting things coming up for the podcast this year. We can't talk about it yet, but I am so excited. And we want to make sure that as many people are here for us to hopefully entertain, maybe disappoint, maybe teach you something. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please send it to someone who you think might enjoy it. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.